So Sugat will be taking us through this session.
Hi everyone, I'm Sugat with the CHT stewardship team, and today I'll be presenting on one of the recent project that we worked on in CHT. And before we dive into the updates that we made or the features that we worked on, I'd like to introduce a partner organization that we worked with, which is Samagra, and that is responsible for this really awesome initiative called C4GT, which stands for Code for GovTech. It's an initiative that enables newer contributors that are just starting to or beginning to work into software engineering, and that allows or connects those contributors with DPGs. And these are enabled by the initiative that C4GT worked on, which is DMP, and other includes repo boost and C codes. The project update that I'm going to present on was with the initiative called DMP, where a contributor worked on one of our projects. The other community projects at C4GT is also responsible for repo boost and C codes, which is currently going on. Next slide, please. Now, one of the updates that the contributor from C4GT worked on was addition of newer APIs and functionalities in CHT. Now, we have lots of addition of APIs and functions in CHT through one of the shared libraries that we call CHT data source. We've introduced, I think it was, we have 6 new REST endpoints, and along with it 6 new functions in CHT. Now, what are the needs and what do these APIs and functions solve? Now, the problem that we wanted to tackle with all these APIs was the first and foremost being consistency and complexity of working with the data or data entities in CHT, like for example, creating a person was not that straightforward, or creating a hospital or clinic as such. So these APIs and functionalities introduce a consistent and common way of creating those. So they will make it easier to work on and create and update the most common entities like person, places, and reports. Next slide, please. Now, for the REST endpoints, we've created 6 new ones. All of them are create and update. Now, for person, place, and reports, we were able to create version 1 APIs, REST APIs that can create a person, update, and create and update, basically, not delete. So far, the get endpoints existed before this. Now, for this change, we've introduced the create and update as well. These are easily available publicly with the APIs that were present before. So yeah, that's that. And next slide, please. And along with the REST endpoints, we've also managed to create functions, 6 same functions that allow us to programmatically create and update person, places, and reports. As you can see in the screenshot, it easily allows us developers to create a person with a really nice interface without having to manage lots of data. All the validation and everything is taken care of internally through CHT data source. And similar to the REST endpoints, the process of getting a person, place, and reports were available beforehand. These changes are just adding the functionality of creating and updating the person. Those are all the changes that were introduced from this project. I guess over to Josh for the next product update.
Yeah, thanks. We got really quickly here. One of the other projects that we worked on with contributors there from the Code for GovTech group was, and get excited everybody for this, because this announcement has been 7 years in the making, but a new version of Pyxform is about to drop. And for those of you who don't know what Pyxform is, it is the library that we use when you build a form in your spreadsheet. Pyxform is responsible for kind of converting that form. Under the hood, it's what CHT conf uses to transform that into XML, which then turns into the form that you see on the screen there. So super exciting stuff here. We worked all summer porting functionality that we had kind of built custom into the old version of Pyxform on top of the new code here. We're working on putting the final touches on that and just wiring things up. We really are working hard to make sure that it's backwards compatible without having to take a CHT core upgrade to use this. So all the little nitty gritty stuff, like figuring out how to make sure the media attachments and that kind of stuff continues to pipe through. Really, really excited about this though. There's a lot that's kind of maybe going to come. I will say, hopefully, you just don't really even notice it at first, because what's going to happen is it's just going to ship in a new version of CHT-Conf, and you'll just start using it. So unlike before, where you had to manually install Pyxform on your system, now as long as you've got a version of Python that's running, then you should be able to just install CHT-Conf and right away be converting forms. Just as a teaser on some of the things to watch out for when the new one comes. One of the big things we hope this is going to fix, well, one of the big things we know this is going to fix is the attributes. The ordering of the attributes in the XML that gets generated when you convert should remain consistent. And so you will not get extra changes in your diff when you just reconvert a form that maybe has only changed a little bit, and then all of a sudden you see 400 lines change in the XML. So really excited about getting this in, and so be watching for this coming in a new version of CHT Conf soon. Back to you, Anthony.
All right. Thanks, Sugat and Josh. Any questions to Sugat? I think from the reactions from community members, they're quite exciting and looking forward to those changes. Any questions? Yuvraj, I can see your comment here. Do you have any additional thoughts just to add?
No, I think it's a huge change, and also like I also wanted to add me needing to struggle to install Python 2.x just to have the PyX from older version working, and that is also gone. Like Python 2.x is most likely no longer installed by default in many OSs as well. And yeah, great to see this huge jump. And I mean, like from 0.9 to 4.0, I'm sure that there's a lot of things to do. And thanks to Jaws and his stewardship team for doing it. It's great stuff.
All right. Just to add to that, the contributors who worked on these features, they worked being mentored by Josh and Sugat and their students. So it's exciting just to hear how students can be able to become part of the community and start contributing actively. So as one of the things the community mentioned that we should be able to prioritize is mentorship to the community, and this is one of the program where we have been able to demonstrate that with mentorship and support, new contributors can be able to become active contributors. So if you are waiting for the time to start contributing, it's just right now. Please start reaching out, and we have a number of community members who will be available to support you. So because of time, let's move to the next agenda item. And as always, people have been mentioning AI a lot of times. So let's get an update from Paul on CHT Dockside AI Assistant.
Well, thanks, Anthony. Hello, everyone. I'm Paul. and I'm an app developer at Medic. Today, I'll just take a few minutes to walk you through something new and really useful on our CHT doc site. It's the Ask AI Assistant powered by Kapa AI. So in short, it's an intelligent search assistant built directly into our CHT docs, and you can ask it any question about the CHT, from how to design a form, configure targets, even deploy on, let's say, Kubernetes, and it instantly responds with direct links to the relevant documentation or forum discussion or even GitHub issues. So the goal is simple. We want to save time, reduce friction when searching for information, and also help both new and experienced users find exactly what they need more faster. So what is even great is that it works in multiple languages, so including French, which will really help our French-speaking community members. And we've been on the field different time and received this kind of feedback, and I think that this would be a very help for them. And since it always cites official source, you can verify and double check everything is okay with confidence. So Anthony, please, next slide. So I'm just going to, let's jump right into a short demo, okay, when I'll start testing it. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes.
Yeah. So here is our documentation site, and the Ask AI button is just there at the bottom. And to start interacting with it, you can just hit it, and I think you have to accept and something, and then normally you should have this view. So let's just start with some small question and then see how it reacts. So I'll start with English, and then we'll see how it reacts, and then move to French. So I'm going to ask him, how can I add an image in my form? So what I want is to display images in my form. So it started with telling me to prepare the image, and also talking about the supported format. And then we can hit, these link to go and see where it has taken this information from. Okay, so I'll just continue. And yeah, so he's presenting me different approach. Okay, so he asking me to start creating a folder with the name of the form, and then adding these images, and then referencing it in the form. And also yeah, also here what is interesting is that it's also telling me how to add it in what column, and how to reference it. And I'm also here, I can also see the XML approach if I wanted to edit the XML directly and add the image there. What is interesting is that you can see down here the different, resources when you can go. Like here, I've been here together just a while ago. I just click this time here, and you see that all that he has mentioned was taken from the documentation, and was really faithfully presented there. So let's go for another test. I go right now, and the test is yeah. So what I want is, in the same form, how can I select a place? For example, I want to select a CW site that is under a specific area, let's say under a supervision area. So just to see if I can receive a good direction. So Let's give him some minute. Okay, so I was expecting to see different information like select contact. So let's go to allow users to select a place within a form. You need to configure your form to reference the CHT hierarchy of place. So the CHT organize people, okay. However, based on the provided knowledge, so there is no explicit step guide or code example for adding a place selector. Configure, he said the documentation does explain that all people are associated with place and that places are organized in hierarchy. When creating and editing the sheet allow you to select, okay. So right now, actually, there is a section in the documentation that actually talks about that more clearly. Maybe my question was not very clear. So maybe I can try to go around it and exactly say what I'm willing to see. Like let's say I was talking, sorry, I was talking about this something here. Okay. Select contact info. Let's say if I can get more information about what I'm looking for. Right. This is exactly what I want. So you see, when I get into details, I can see that it's now talking about how I can select a contact widget directly in a form and giving me information about how I can do it. And this was what I was looking for in the doc, how it was presented, how I can, select a household that is under my area, for example. So now let me go directly to something more technical and then we switch to French, okay? Let's say I want to make a report, okay, available to a higher levels in the hierarchy. So I'm a CW, and then after submitting the form, I want this form to be available to the supervision or to some level higher. So interesting. He's now talking about the replication depth. Good. And also talking about the replication and report depth, and also something interesting, the need sign off. And I can see that both are, referenced back here in the bottom. So I can see exactly if this is what I'm looking for. You see? So now let's switch to French and go quickly. So let's say I'm a French community member and I don't get it really well. So I would ask in French, c'est quoi au juste la différence entre replication date and report? It's just confusing. So how can I get in my language? So he'll try to explain while saying very faithful to the doc. So he said that the replication date and the report date, and trying to explain it in English so that I can get it more like and be comfortable with what I was reading sometime before. Okay, so right now we just switched from English to French and keeping the exact context and the same while being fit while staying faithful to the documentation. So I just go ahead again with some new tests. I want to let's say I want to see how I can display back the old nav bar that was in the CHT apps. And then I'm wondering if this is still supported by the CHT. So this is more deep. So it will search in different resources and tell me exactly how I can display that old bar and tell me if this is still supported. So he tell me that to display this old bar, I can use this permission. And I'm now asking, I want to know if this is still supported by the CHT. And now he's telling me, you see how it presented to caught my attention, that this actually will be removed in the future release. So it's up to me if I want to go with it. I have just to keep in mind that in the near future, this permission or this capability will be removed. And it has also given more details about the resources I can go, and find what I need. So to end up, I will just end with this example that is really important and very interesting. It is this question. So I'm asking, how can I see past month targets? So this is very interesting when I was testing. And you see, he's telling me that to access past month target, I need to be in the version 4.10 of the CHT. And then these features is only for aggregated target, okay? And then he's trying to show me how I can see it in the UI and also how I can configure it, okay? And what is interesting is that he's telling me that um how people like how users can have access to it. So now I'm going to ask, this is for aggregated, how can I see the if I don't want aggregated, and how can I make CHW see this past month target?
Paul, you have a minute. We are beyond our expected time.
Yeah. So while he's wrapping up, yeah, okay. So he's saying that for the CW to see this, for CW target, quickly summary, provide a quick summary on no, this is not what I want. Maybe I was not very clear. I was waiting for him to tell me more about the fact that it is not really supported, and then linking the issues. So it works in a while, but you see this, what it shows is that when you don't see exactly what you want, you can go more in deep and explain exactly what you want, and then it will show the different section in the doc and also the GitHub issues that you wanted to see. So thank you. It was it was a really good time sharing all this. And to wrap up, let's say that this is very helping us, and it boosts the productivity. No more switching between tabs and scrolling endlessly, you see, and it's can be accurate and transparent. And if you don't see what we are looking for, you can go in details, and dig until you find what you want. And we have also our forum, and so that you can post a different question you have, and you have many people that can support and get you fixed. Thank you so much, Anthony. Sorry for the extra time.
All right, thanks. Because of time, let's wrap up. And I can see a couple of community members here, so we are hoping Andro and other teammates can be able to test in their local language, and Ejimba and other teammates from Kenya can test Swahili and share feedback on the forum. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for joining this meeting. It has been an engaging conversation, and looking forward to seeing you in our next meeting. I've just seen, is it a comment from someone indicating that it works in some other language, which is great. So just to update you, we have our meetup coming in the next 2 weeks on 21st October. The dev hour will be on 23rd October. Then we have our CHT demo hour on November 6th. Then our roundup will be on the second Thursday of next month, which will be on November 13th. We'll be sharing the recording and notes, and thanks for your time. And we'd also like to thank the presenters for preparing and sharing with us the great insights. So let's continue the conversation on the forum. Until next time, all the best. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.